Hi friends, Linnea here. How are you all doing today? I was sitting around and I was thinking about a couple of things when it comes to magic, and I realized that it is a new moon. And new moons are great for resets and, balancing, starting over, emptying the field, so to speak, so you can start again tomorrow or the next day. And I have been transitioning the hell out of my room the last 3 to 4 days, and I thought, it's not going to be easy, but tonight is completion night. I need to complete the general movement of what's happening because I'm moving things. So tonight, my trusty dusty bed here is going to go over about a foot so that it's easier to make, because up against that wall, trust me, this old lady has a hell of a time. And I have a few things in the closet I either need to pull out or some other things I need to bring in, something to that effect. And the movement part of it is done. Then it's just, of course, getting everything set up and what I like and that kind of thing. So I thought, yeah, new moon, tonight I'm going to complete this room. And trust me, I slept today. And the reason I slept today is because I'm not sleeping at night. I don't know what's going on with that either. I don't want to talk about it. Stress. However, as I was thinking about that, I thought about how quite literally over the last probably month and a half, I've kind of been floundering with getting back into practice, magical practice. And I realized that I had to start super small. I couldn't just delve back in, grab all the herbs and start making jars and go forward. And I have been kind of putting off a few clients because a lot of my supplies, quite honestly, are out in my shed. They're hard to get to. My life has been questionably upheaved as of late. And, things go on. Life happens and it's happening. So that aside, how did I get myself going again? Because it's been about a month and a half now of a general daily practice. It's not huge, guys. Don't get happy. But I thought about that, and then I thought, how many people going through transitions such as I am and searching for themselves or their new purpose after whatever change has happened are kind of trying to figure out how to get back into practice? Because I can't tell you how many times I've been in this spot and it had nothing to do with the death of a loved one, but maybe a move or a new job got me too busy, or and I had to start somewhere. And I realized I always start in the same place because it works. So that place is, I started out where I was burning incense every single morning. It was automatic. Get up, go pee, light an incense stick, light my candle, make my coffee. And I have been doing that for a month and a half, but I noticed too, then I started kind of adding a few things like yes, I would light a candle every morning, but it was usually an honorary candle or to someone. Then I started lighting a intention candle. So every day I get up, I really do. In fact, I've got incense going right this minute, so I burn it all day. But every morning when I get up, I light an incense. I light my honor candle to my husband. And then I have been lighting it. It's not really a deity candle. For years, I didn't have a deity, and I've kind of found I'm back in that place. But I light a divine candle, a candle to the divine, that I use to set my intention for the day. So I'll wake up, I'll decide what my intention that day is going to be. The last 3 days it's been this room, but it works. It works for me. And it's gotten me to where I still feel like a witch. Whereas for quite a while, I didn't feel like I was doing anything magic at all. And so that's someplace to start, right? That's someplace. You light an incense and set an intention candle. And that it doesn't have to be a big candle. And what it can be, and what I use personally, because I'm not by any means able to afford to get a ton of candles right this minute. I have a ton, but again, all out in the shed. So I have glass candles, the tall pillar candles that are in glass. And I light that same candle every day. And I just cleanse the intention from the day before. A lot of people say, once you light a candle, you have to burn it till it's gone. I am just one of those people. And I hope you know this about me and take this to heart when you hear me talking about what to do. I am not telling you by any means how you should or should not do anything ever. I would not even try to do that. But a lot of people will claim that you have to completely start a whole new candle or burn it until it's gone for the intention to happen, or for the purpose, or for the spell, or whatever. I am not that person. I do not believe that. I do not believe it has to be a certain color candle. What works best for me may not work best for someone else. A lot of people say white candles only. I personally choose black candles over white candles. I feel like everyone says a white candle represents everything. Well, I think that's open for interpretation depending on the witch. Personally, if you took every color of a crayon and made a line right on top of the other, it's going to turn black. Black is the color for all colors. Therefore, in my opinion, not pushing it on anyone else. However, that's how I do it. So I use a black candle for my intentions. And most of my work, I use a black candle. However, I do cleanse it every day when I'm finished and before bed. I admit what I've done that day holding my candle. Admit what I've done, if I accomplished or didn't accomplish. And I do one of two things. I either reset the intention, cleanse it out, or I will sometimes carry it over and the next morning set it the same intention again and burn the same candle. Or I will have cleansed it that night, get up the next day, set a new intention, and burn the candle. So that's my process. And then I've started adding a few other things. So I've been doing my journal again every day. I'm proud of that because that's something I've done since I was 16. I've journaled every day, and usually, quite literally, all day. Every time I sat down, I had my journal in my hand, and that has not been the case for a while, but I'm back to journaling, and I'm proud of that. And I journal every day. And I try, I'm not perfect, to journal a gratitude, at least one a day. I have recommended to my life coaching clients for years and years to 3 a day, regardless of what. I'm grateful for my toothbrush. I'm grateful my big toenail got trimmed. It doesn't matter, but if you are recognizing what you have and being thankful and grateful for it, you just automatically attract more. When we sit around every day and we bitch and gripe about what we don't have and what's gone wrong, and trust me, I've been there a lot lately, then we end up kind of burning the bridge between attraction. I don't know why that is. I do, but my mind doesn't want to explain it. Sorry. I mean, it's kind of self-explanatory. When you're happy for what you have, you're grateful for what you have, you get more. When you are bitching about everything you don't have and not being grateful for what you do have, you continue to not get, because you are sending out that negative tone of I don't. And words are power. When I get up in the morning and I say I'm gonna try, I can bet you it ain't gonna happen. But if I get up in the morning and I say I am going to, I am is a power word. It's power, couple of words. I am going to work on my room today. I am going to journal today. I am going to do a video today. I am going to have a glass of wine today. If you I am yourself into something and drop that trying word, you're going to do it, because you are feeding your soul the purpose. You have a day of purpose. When you say, I'm trying, your purpose is to just think about it all day long, and maybe I'll get around to it. Maybe I won't. 9 times out of 10, I won't. At least that's just me. That's me. But that is something I tell clients. I am is a power word. I'm going to could be in the future. But I am doing my room today. That's power. That's power. And I'm feeding myself that power when I use those words. So pay attention to your words, because they're all spells. That's a fact. And so I've been doing that, and the journaling, and the candles, and the incense. And I started saving my ashes again, and I started saving my incense sticks again. I use those things. Maybe I'll do a video about how to use your waste. I mean, a lot of people just, toss their ashes from their incense in the garbage, and I don't do that. I use my ashes from my incense just like I do any bonfire or pit fire, because they have power. When I light an incense, I set an intention with that lighting. This is to motivate me. This is to connect me to spirit. This is to give me drive. This is for for confidence. I don't know, but I always have an intention when I light the candles. I always have an intention when I light my incense. So I save the ashes, because all of that is power. And I use them later. I'm going to do a video. I think that's a good idea. Do a video on waste. Another thing that's a great product for spells is lint from your dryer. We'll talk about it. At any rate, I noticed I'm finally back into it. I finally feel like I'm kind of a witch again. And I thought I'm going to share that, because I know many times in my life I've thought, I don't know even where to start being a witch again. And now I are one. I love you guys. You're divine, sacred beings of light and love. I hope you really, really, really think about that statement. You are divine, just from creation. And you are a being. And we are all of light and love. It's the energy. It's what we do with that energy that matters. And we can keep it in light and love, which I've heard a lot of negative stuff about lately. Light and love, fluff. Well, people could see it that way. I think we're born of light and love. And we make choices that take us either deeper into that or further away from it. That's just me. But anyway, you're a divine, sacred being of light and love, and I love you with all of my heart. I always have, and I always will. I will see you next time. Get back to being a witch, would you? Feels good.